with a half-game lead over the swinging A's in the West as they open a critical 4-game series at the ballpark. Highlights of this one look something like this. Remember when Alfonso Soriano was hot? He has one hit in his last 25 at-bats now. Soriano with a man on, get out of town, his 20th homer of the year. And the next batter was Mark Teixeira. He goes back-to-back home runs. Check it out, same deal for Oakland in their half of the inning. It's the first time both teams have had back-to-back homers in the same inning in a game since '96. Hank Blaylock used to be hot, hitless in his last 18 at-bats. Blaylock hammers at the right center. Michael Young scores. 4-3 Rangers. We skip ahead now. Top of the 8th, tied at 5. Adam Melhuse with a man at second. Loops it in the center. No man's land there. Erubio Durazo scores. The A's win 7-6, and with the win, move into first place all alone in the American League West.
Giants and Padres, 4th of 4 at Petco. Barry Bonds just a $160 career hitter against Thursday's starter Ishmael Valdez. But in the 4th, tied at 1, man on for Bonds. You're so not catching that. 2-run shot, his 26th of the year. San Fran up 3-1 on career homer number 684. Top play nominee to boot. Bonds been doing this a long time, hit many homers as we just documented, and well, he knew it was gone pretty much right off the bat. He did in the trot mode. Bottom 5, Padres down 3-2. 2-1 for Sean Burrows. Lines one to center, and it goes under Michael Tucker's glove. Gotta get the glove on the ground. Miguel Ojeda, Valdez both score. Padres up 4-3, and Tucker got to be a little embarrassed there. Bottom 6 now. It's a 4-all game. Man on second for Phil Nevin. Lines the Brett Tomko pitch to center. Ryan Klesko's going to come around to score. It's a 5-4 Padre lead. They win it 7-4. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're 10-3 against the Giants this year. Really get to vote at the meetings, but he's pretty much owned the Padres over the year. It was his 78th career home run against the Fathers, but his first ever at Petco Park, which he finally cracked. Might seem like a long time to have christened Petco, but that was nothing compared to the drought he went through in St. Louis. Took him 135 games to connect at a getaway day for the Braves in Pittsburgh. We pick it up in the 9th. Jose Mesa on trying to close it out. Julio Franco with 1 on, nobody out. Hits it to short. Jack Wilson, nice stop, but then he chucked it into right field. Mark DeRosa advances to third, so we've got runners on the corners, nobody out. Eli Marrero next up, softly up the middle. Jose Castillo's coming home. So is DeRosa. DeRosa beat the throw. Braves tied up at 2. 3 batters later, Rafael Furcal, who made 2 errors in this game earlier, with the bases loaded, delivers with the single. Just Mesa's second blown save of the year. Atlanta's won 6 of 7 and 11 of their last 15 against the Bucks.
This must seem like the longest series in history for Larry Bowa and the Phillies in South FLA. They've lost 22 of 25 against the Marlins. Marlins have a 13-game home winning streak against them, the second longest against divisional rival in the last 10 years. The Blue Jays had a 14-game winning streak against the Orioles, something to shoot for. Top of the second, no score. Dontrell Willis gets Jim Thome. He'd get him again in the game. Next batter, Pat Burrell, strikes out, loses his bat, but a lucky fan was really lucky. They weren't injured. Forget about the bat. Willis, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. Alex Gonzalez has never hit a grand slam until now. Get out of town, he means it. Florida rocks Larry Bowa's Phillies 10-1.
Are you anxious to get out of Florida and get away from this ballpark?
Yeah, we haven't had too much luck down here. They've had the upper hand. There's no question about it. They play us like they are the world champions. We didn't make any errors. The ball got lost in the sun. What are you going to do about that?
Do you worry at all about any of the reports coming out in the media about job security or anything like that?
Philadelphia media? Yeah. No. I'm used to it. It's been in like that for 3 years. I don't worry about that. No. That's basically it.
The last 30 games have revealed plenty in the NL East. Braves have won 22 of their last 30, and then there are the Phillies. Of all the differences, here's the most telling stat. Atlanta's 14-4 against their division rivals. Phils are 10-13. Peter Gammons might have changed at the top take place.
Once cooled down, Major League Baseball took its swings in that Red Sox-Yankee fight, handing down suspensions and/or fines to 8 players in all. Alex Rodriguez and Jason Varitek played the biggest roles. and they got the longest timeouts. 4 games apiece, both plan to appeal. A-Rod might like to point out he didn't throw the beanball or the first punch in this thing. Said a little disappointed with the 4 games, thought it was a bit much. Here is the fallout. Veritek and A-Rod get 4 games each. Yankees pitcher Tanyan Sturtz, outfielders Gabe Kapler of the Red Sox, Trot Nixon from Boston as well, each suspended 3 games and fined. David Ortiz, Kurt Schilling, Kenny Lofton fined but not suspended. Still no word on Jason Giambi's latest round of tests to pin down his mysterious illness, but the Yankees have heard from the New York Health Department. City officials are asking team doctors about that intestinal parasite that apparently got to Giambi and his wife, Kevin Brown, and quite possibly Gary Sheffield. Meanwhile, Giambi awaits results of tests he took Monday to identify the cause of that persistent fatigue, which has slowed him down since early June. Giambi out of the lineup for the 6th straight game, back in New York as the Yankees hit Baltimore. Top third, O's down 1-0, but not for long thanks to Melvin Moore. Having a great year with the bases loaded. The single brings in 2. He was 2 for 5, drove in 4 on the night. O's up 2-1. They wouldn't need much more. Sidney Ponson 0-3 with an ERA over 8 against the Yankees this season, but he had it going Thursday night. Strikes out Bernie Williams looking. A-Rod waving. Ponson struck out 5 in the 8th. Jorge Posada from the other side of the plate goes down. Ponson retired 18 straight batters at one point. 9th inning, Derek Jeter batting. Ponson got him 2. O's win at 9-1 on Ponson's complete game 4-hitter.
White Sox 3.5 back of the Twins after being swept by Minnesota. Slid on to Detroit, where Pudge had to leave early, left in the 3rd, upper back spasms. John Atkins came in the bottom of the 6th. His first pitch, he really crosses up Sandy Alomar. Again, that was his very first pitch of the night. The runners advanced, taking a look. Alomar really, can tell by his head motion, had no idea where that ball was headed. It goes as a pass ball, and it would be costly. Later in the inning, Bobby Higginson grounds at the first. Dimitri Young would score. 3-2, Tigers take the lead. Ugueth Urbina, is he going to be traded soon? Well, not after this effort. Urbina got Paul Konerko and then Jose Valentin to ground out to end the game. So the White Sox fall a full 4 games back of the idle Twins.
Get to know the locals in Montreal on their way out of town. Mike Cameron made a pregame bet with a loudmouth fan named George. There's George right there. Fan, George, agreed to move if Cameron hit a home run. The second, wouldn't you know it, Cameron took it to the seats. 2-run shot for him. Cameron points to his man, George, wants him to move. George, you got to get, man.
Mike reminded him after the home run, and as the inning went on, you got to go. The fan claims, well, you said 2 home runs. Mike said, no, 1. We'll see whether or not the fan lives up to his end of the bargain and moves.
So we have a bit of a disagreement. Perhaps George reneged on the deal. Perhaps it was a 2-home-run deal. So Cameron says, all right, there you go. A little something for his people. In fact, one particular person, George, what do I do? 20th of the year for Cameron, 10th career multi-homer game. But you know what? He wouldn't leave. He offered him his hat instead. Cameron doesn't want your stinky hat.
We had a little small wager, but obviously he didn't live up to the billing, so we'll let him slide this time. You know, I mean, he got a chance to see a good show.
And the show got even better. George sticking around in his original seat to see it. Eric Valent, next batter, and that's high, deep, and gone. In fact, it's way high, way deep, and way gone. Off the speaker there, a huge shot in Montreal. Glad hands for Valent, he wasn't done. 7th inning, 7-1 game. Valent a triple shy of the cycle, and here we go. Down the right field line, it'll rattle around the corner there at the Big O, and Valent is on his way to 3rd. You knew he was going to try it, and he gets it. 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, the cycle, and a top play nominee. Mets win at 10-1. Valent is the 8th player to hit for the cycle in Mets history. The team still doesn't have that no-hitter, though.
The 4 from the Brewers in Milwaukee. Carlos Zambrano has really been struggling lately, but in the bottom of the 1st, with runners on 1st and 3rd, he was on his game. Got Jeff Jenkins, Russell Branyan, the next batter, Lyle Overbay to end the inning. Zambrano would strike out 5 in a row, struck out 8 in the game, 8 innings, no runs allowed. Top of the 6th, Sammy Sosa, get out of town. His 22nd homer of the year, 561 of his career. He's 1 RBI shy of 1,500. Bottom 6. A 4-0 game, Lyle Overbay, the drive. Corey Patterson, without the horse, makes the backhanded grab. Brewers are now 4 for their last 73 with runners in scoring position.
Mariners and Angels spending a quality 4 hours, 10 minutes together on Thursday. We pick it up in the 13th, and it's all you can Ichiro time. That's a base knock to left center. Ichiro extends his hit streak to 21. It's his 5th hit of the game. That's a career high. He's hitting .444 for July. Same inning, man on for Brett Boone. Up the middle, here comes Ichiro, and that ends the Mariners' 15-game road losing streak. They take it in 13.